to my channel. I'm Beth Leland. In today's practice, we are going to do a very gentle Hatha flow, encouraging self-love. So we're going to work with some chest openers, some upper back openers, and just general feel-good postures. Really getting into the whole body here today. So to begin, let's come into a tabletop pose. So hands and knees, hips over your knees, shoulders over your wrists. Spreading the fingertips nice and wide. You should be able to see plenty of the mat in between each finger. And just take a few breaths here. Your back is parallel to the mat. And just be here. And breathe deeply into your belly. And exhale out the nose or mouth. And continuing with your breath, just breathing in and out through the nose. As you inhale, reach your chest forward, gaze toward the horizon, curl the tailbone up, and then exhale, chin to chest, curl the tailbone down, point between your knees, and inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, gaze forward, and exhale, curl the tailbone down, bring the navel in towards the spine. And 2 more rounds on your own. Cat cow. Feeling this in all parts of the spine. Let it feel good. And to exhale, really push the floor away. And when you inhale, keep the abs engaged. Don't let yourself sink too low. So you can come back to neutral. Let's bring your right arm up and then weave it underneath your left arm. And bringing your shoulder blade down to the mat, or your shoulder and your your triceps down to the mat. Your entire arm should be parallel to the top of the mat here. You can keep your left hand here for like a kickstand, or you can reach it out in front of you for a little deeper side stretch. You should feel this gentle twist in the upper back. And trying to keep your hips over your knees. And don't let them drift too far to one side. And breathing deeply. Feel your breath fill your upper back. And bring your left palm back next to your face. You exhale, push into your hand to bring yourself back up. Maybe you reach your right arm back up overhead before setting it back down. We'll do thread the needle on the opposite side. Bring your left arm up and thread it underneath. Lowering your shoulder down to the mat. And either leaving your right hand where it is or reaching it out in front of you. And breathing is slow and intentional. Slowly pressing your left arm into the mat gently. One more breath here. And bring your right hand back towards your face. Exhale. Push yourself back up, maybe reaching that arm up. And coming back to your tabletop pose. On an inhale, reach your right leg back behind you. Flex your foot, pointing your toes straight down to the mat, making that leg nice and parallel with the mat. I'm just holding it here for a moment. And then exhale, bring that foot through, in between the palms. And coming into your low lunge, have your knee directly over the ankle. Bring your torso up. You can keep your hands on your hips or lift your arms up overhead. Whatever feels best for you right now. Really pointing your tailbone straight down. Exhale, let your arms fall down to your sides. And then wrap your arms around yourself like you're giving yourself a hug. Right arm underneath the left. And hold on to either shoulder blade or however far your fingers go. Let your elbows fall into your chest. Let gravity take hold of them. Maybe dip your chin. And keep that structure in the legs. And let the upper body melt. And feeling a stretch even into the back of your neck. And one more big breath in. And exhale, unwrap your arms. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And exhale, plant your left palm next to your right foot. Tuck your back toes under. Lift that back knee up off the mat. And bring your right arm up overhead, shining your chest out towards the right. Feeling this twist in your upper back. And you can always put your hand on your lower back instead of lifting it up overhead if this feels better. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, replant your palm, re-drop that back knee, re-extend your right leg back, and exhale, plant that knee back down. We'll do the same little sequence on the other side. Inhale, reach your left leg back, pointing your toes straight down, flexing that foot, feeling energy permeating out of the back heel. One more breath in. And on the next exhale, bring your knee forward, planting that foot in between the palms to find your low lunge. Inhale, either arms up or on your hips. And 2 breaths here. Exhale, arms come down to either side. Then inhale, wrap your arms, left arm underneath the right, holding on to your shoulder blade. letting your elbows drop, chin, chest. Hold yourself here. Exhale, unwrap the arms. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. And exhale, plant that right palm down next to the left foot. And again, tucking that back toe under and shining your heart off to the left. Easy twist. One more big breath in. Exhale, plant that hand back down. Lower your back knee. Re-extend your left leg. And exhale, plant that foot back down. You can tuck your toes under. Really push into your fingertips and knuckles. We're going to move into our downward facing dog. Exhale, lift your hips up and back towards the back corner of the room. Feeling a nice, tall, long spine in the upper body. Head hangs heavy between the biceps. Maybe pedal out the feet. Bending one knee and then the other. On an inhale, bring your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and stack your hips, making sure your right shoulder stays down where it was, only twisting through the lower body. And exhale, bring your knee to your nose, step your foot through between the palms, right in the center of the mat, lower the back heel. Your front heel should bisect the back arch, making a T here. Inhale, come up. Warrior two. Energizing through all four corners of both feet here. Breathing nice and slow. The front knee is tracking over that second toe. Gaze is over the middle finger. Inhale, reverse warrior. Bring your left hand to the left thigh and reach your right arm up. You can gaze down towards that back foot or just gaze forward, whatever is most comfortable. Inhale, come back up, warrior. Gaze is forward, palms are down, shoulders relaxed. Slowly straighten your front foot and move into a triangle pose. I like tracing kind of my leg with the back of my hand, placing my left hand on my hip, and coming down to a side bend, maybe reaching your left arm up overhead as you shine your chest towards the ceiling, opening the heart. Returning the top hand to your hip. Inhale, come back up. Rebend to the front knee, palms down. Warrior two. Sturdy to the legs. Bend your palms to face up. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead as you straighten the front leg. Exhale, spin the palms back down. Rebend the front leg. Warrior two. One breath in. On your next exhale, cartwheel your arms down to frame the front foot. Lift the back heel up. Bring the right foot back to meet the left. Downward facing dog. Doing any movements that feel good here. You can take a flow if you want. You can stay in dog or you can inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Just your chest and shoulders lift off the mat. And then exhale, we all meet in downward facing dog. Let's do the same sequence on the other side. Inhale, bring your left leg up. Bend your knee. Stack your hips. We find an opening in the hips and a stretch in the quads. And exhale, bring your knee forward and plant it in between the palms, center of the mat. Bring that back heel down. Find your alignment in the feet. Then inhale, lift up for your warrior two on the second side. Really feeling the back of the right side of your right foot into the mat as you traction forward. Reverse warrior, right hand down, left arm up, gaze wherever is comfortable. Big side body stretch, heart shining forward and up. Exhale, return to warrior. Slowly straighten that front knee. Bring your right hand to your right hip. You can trace along the inseam of your front leg to find your side bend, triangle pose. Reaching your arm up, spiraling your chest up and towards the sky. Finding a nice long spine. Maintaining length in the lower part of your waist as well. Don't fold over. Return your top hand to your hip. Inhale, come back up. Rebend the front foot, warrior. Bend the palms, face up. Inhale, straighten your leg, lift your arms up overhead, maybe lifting the gaze. And exhale, palms down, warrior two. Inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your arms down, framing that foot, and returning to your downward facing dog. Again, hanging out here in your dog or flowing through. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Inhale, chest, shoulders and hands come up off the mat. Press your hips into the floor. And exhale, lower and push back. Downward dog. Lower your knees down to the mat. And walk yourself forward to come onto your belly. Leaving your elbows down, Sphinx pose. So elbows underneath the shoulders or farther in front of you. Really press your hips into the mat. Shine your heart forward. Roll your shoulder blades back. You can widen your elbows if that feels good. Back bend in the upper back. Shining that chest forward like a flashlight, beaming to the front of the room. And keep breathing. Exhale, release your head down to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push back into your table pose. And then bring your hips back towards your heels. For child's pose, you can have your knees together or you can bring them as wide as the mat, whatever's most comfortable. And walk your hands back forward. Bring your forehead down. Elbows as wide as the mat. Fingertips come to touch. If this isn't comfortable, you can always put a block underneath your forehead or stack your palms. See if that makes it feel better. Just take 5 deep breaths here in your version of child's pose. Push your hands into the mat to lift your torso up and away from the floor. Shift your hips over to one side and bring the legs out in front of you. Maybe scoot your feet towards the middle of the mat. And come to lie down on your back. Slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. You can keep the right sole of foot on the mat and bring your left leg up. Interlace your hands behind your thigh and straighten that leg. And point your toes, flex your foot, feeling a stretch in the front of your shin and through your entire hamstring. You continually flex and then point. And breathing through your entire leg. Imagine you can fill your leg up with air. Next time you flex your foot, keep it flexed and then bring that ankle over the top of your right thigh just below the knee. And you can stay here if it's comfortable. You keep your upper back firmly planted on the mat. You can bring your right leg in and interlace your hands underneath your right thigh. Feel a nice, gentle stretch in the outer left hip. Making sure you keep the left foot nice and flexed. And don't pull too hard. You should feel very gentle. One more deep breath in. And exhale, lower that right foot down. And bring the left sole of foot down to the mat. Do the same thing on the other side, reaching your right leg up. Bring your hands behind the thighs. And flex and point that top foot. Now filling your right leg up with air. And next time you flex your foot, keep it flexed and bring that right ankle just below the left knee. Maybe this feels good and you can stay here. If you want a little bit more, you can bring the left foot in and reach around that left thigh, pulling it gently. And this is our reclined pigeon pose. Just take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, release your foot back down to the mat. Both soles of feet come to the mat. Bring your arms into a cactus shape and move your hips over to the right 1 inch or 2. And then gently drop your knees over to the left for a reclined twist. Try to keep both shoulder blades firmly planted into the ground. Maybe gently turning your head to the right. And breathing deeply. You can use your left hand to bring your knees back up to center. And then shift your hips over towards the left side of the mat. And let your knees fall over to the right. Maybe turning your head to the left. And your left hip and your left shoulder moving away from each other. Another breath here. Using your right hand, you can bring your knees back up to neutral. Bring your hips back to center. And extend one leg at a time for Shavasana, our final resting pose, letting your full body relax into the mat. Releasing any unnecessary tension in the body. Each exhale, you find more and more peace and relaxation. Taking 10 deep breaths here. Following your breath as it rises through the belly. And releases all tension back into the universe. Let the breath flow through the whole body. And you're welcome to hang out here in Shavasana for as long as you can. As you feel ready, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe reach your arms up overhead. Roll over to one side. Rest your head on your upper arm for a moment. Slowly pushing yourself up to take a seat. Or again, staying in your Shavasana. Bring your hands together to touch. Notice how you feel. And give yourself gratitude for coming to the mat today. Now close our practice by chanting Om. You can join if you like. Inhale. Om. And bowing forward. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel really, really good. Please love yourself often and all the time, actually. And yeah, let me know how this class makes you feel in the comments. Leave a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you don't. And I will see you in the next video. Namaste. Much love.